I mean, Caitlyn to the ground, and ooh, that's a...
Oh, hell no. I know just who to call. I know just who to call for your ass.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a wild thug on the loose in Indiana. There's a thug that plays for the Phoenix Mercury, a goon named Alyssa Thomas. She goes by the name Alyssa Thomas. You need to go arrest this thug. She tried to murder a lady named Caitlin Clark on the basketball court. She tried to punch her in the...
What started as another controversial moment on the court has suddenly taken a shocking turn after a heated incident involving Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark went completely unpunished by officials. An official police report has reportedly entered the conversation, and fans are demanding answers. But what exactly happened that sparked such an extreme response? Was something missed, ignored, or covered up? And could this incident change the WNBA forever?
That is it. Tonight is where I draw the line. WNBA, if you do not review what happened to Caitlin Clark, I am going to non-stop talk about this until the end of my days. The Indiana Fever go down in their rematch against the Phoenix Mercury. I don't even care about that because much bigger things are at play. It was expected to be a big game. After the melee that ensued a couple of days ago between the two teams, multiple texts were called, ejections. It was just really high tense. You could cut it with a knife. Ergo, I expected this game to be called very tight whistle. Any player hits the floor, watch like a hawk. And in my lives, I do sometimes talk about there are two players in the league that I don't particularly care for, but I never want to say who they are because I want to be able to call their game fairly and acknowledge how good they are on the court, and I never will stop.
The Indiana Fever and Phoenix Mercury were supposed to be giving fans a regular season showdown. Instead, they may have accidentally created the latest chapter in what has become one of the most controversial stories in the entire WNBA.
About it, Alyssa Thomas driving her fist into Caitlin Clark's neck. The ball is out of the play at this point in time. All right? So I don't care who it is. You know, at the minimum, you know, it's a flagrant 2. I think it warrants a suspension, especially because of, you know, when you do factor in the context and the history. Because let's be real about it. This clip is...
When the final buzzer sounded, hardly anyone was talking about the score. Nobody was debating offensive schemes. Nobody was breaking down defensive rotations. Nobody seemed interested in discussing who made the biggest shot of the night.
Caitlin Clark gets kneed in the groin, punched in the throat. Alyssa Thomas puts all of her body weight on her to stand up after falling to the ground, punching her and kneeing her in the groin. No foul gets called, they play on. Caitlin Clark shoots a 3. A player on the Phoenix Mercury gets into her landing space. Caitlin Clark comes down on her foot, no flagrant called. Caitlin Clark comes up, holding her back.
Instead, the entire basketball world was focused on a single sequence involving Caitlin Clark and Alyssa Thomas, a play that exploded across social media within minutes and immediately sparked questions about officiating, player safety, and whether the WNBA has a growing problem that it can no longer ignore.
After such a dirty play in this game, Alyssa Thomas needs to be checked. And I am absolutely not the only person that feels this way. I went on social media after the game, and it is like hellfire calling for the WNBA to review this play. Caitlin Clark goes down. Alyssa Thomas goes down, knees her in the groin on the way down, a known area of injury for Caitlin Clark. Okay, maybe that wasn't completely intentional. Didn't look great to me personally. But here's where it gets really wild. Alyssa Thomas has a fist on Caitlin Clark's arm. She has 2 fists. She slides it down, pins Caitlin down by the throat, finally gets up, and she steps over her. That step over told the entire thing. It was dirty. It was intentional. Absolutely should not go undiscussed. WNBA needs to review.
The reactions were so intense that some fans began demanding league intervention, while others argued that the incident represented something much bigger than one controversial moment. The debate quickly shifted from basketball to accountability, and suddenly the spotlight was no longer on the game itself. It was on the officials. And that is where this story becomes impossible to ignore, because according to many fans, this was not an isolated incident. This was simply the latest example in a pattern that has followed Caitlin Clark since she entered. The league did a pattern that has left viewers asking the same question over and over again. Why does it seem like some of the most physical plays involving the WNBA's biggest star continue to generate so much controversy? The moment itself happened during a heated battle between the Fever and Mercury. At first glance, it looked like just another physical sequence in a league that prides itself on toughness and competitiveness. Basketball is a contact sport after all, and every player understands that physicality comes with the territory. But when slow-motion replays began circulating online, fans started noticing details that they believed officials had completely missed. Within hours, clips of the sequence were circulating across social media platforms, sports forums, and basketball discussion channels. Fans replayed the footage repeatedly, slowing it down frame by frame and examining every angle in an attempt to determine exactly what happened. Commentators debated the play, former players weighed in with their perspectives, and sports personalities across the media landscape began offering their own interpretations of the incident.
Oh yes, this is it. Oh yes, this is it right here. I got you a like. Get 200 likes up. This is the footage. This is the video. This video has not been released at all. This is what happened right before Caitlin Clark went out of the game.
Pick up the tech tonight, 5th of the season.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I got a technical for clapping. So, like, if we should all just go on the calendar now and pick a game that I'm going to be suspended for if I'm going to get technicals for clapping. I asked Gerda. Gerda said that I got a technical for clapping. So, if any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's truly for clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me for was for clapping.